Hello dear viewers, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this Friday edition of the news in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Serge Nhore. As always, we'll begin with the headlines. Rwanda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has called on the country's diaspora to continue playing an active role in initiatives aimed at advancing national development. The Rwanda National Police has announced that in 2025, it will begin using drone technology to monitor security, crimes and other traffic violations. And on the international scene, the FBI has said that the suspect in the deadly New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans was inspired by the Islamic State terror group but appears to have acted alone. Now the details. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, has applauded Rwandans in the diaspora for their active role in the country's development. He made the remarks on Friday during the meet and greet program organized by his ministry. Prince Manzi has the details.
Rwandans in diaspora who participated in this event are mostly here for the festive season celebrations. The event was also a time to showcase their areas of expertise, and various local entities demonstrated their services that can benefit Rwandans living abroad.
The Rwandan community abroad in South Sudan, we are about 600 individuals or more, and we are so much attached to our country. If I give just only an example of 2024, where we had a long year to organize the 30th anniversary of the genocide remembrance, and the 1st July, and the election at a very good percentage, and it was successful. So this coming year, we are going to participate in many activities, programs. Like today's meeting, you have heard where they have been presenting the sharing lunch program by the Minister of Education. So this is the program where Rwandans living in South Sudan, we are going to contribute, and we ensure that we share with our kids, with our young brothers, young sisters, and who are here in Rwanda. And because we have the opportunity living in South Sudan and working in South Sudan, we have many opportunities, and then we ensure that as the Rwandan community abroad, we organize the community to contribute, and then we support the program. I feel like it's a success when we'll be able to contribute and support many of the schools. Some of us went to.
Remittances of Rwandans in diaspora accounted for $505 million in 2023. From here, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, applauds these Rwandans' role in the development of their country.
We had a very good meeting and meet and greet meeting with the Rwandan community abroad. We have discussed many topics, especially about their contribution to Rwanda's economy. In 2023, they have contributed by their remittances more than $505 million to our economy, and not to mention the investment they do in the country, and they also contribute to the economy of our country by knowledge and skills transfer, but also by promoting Rwandan language and Rwandan culture. And we know that sometimes for remote countries, and especially for the youth, it is a bit difficult to learn or to speak Kinyarwanda and to learn our culture, but they have programs in their respective countries to promote our culture and to teach Rwandan language Kinyarwanda. So it is really an important contribution to our country, to our development, to our economy.
Minister Nduhungirehe also ensures the government's support in easing Rwandans in diaspora's accessibility of various services.
Rwandan government, MINAFET, but also other institutions like RDB, like Rwanda Stock Exchange, like Mineduc and others will continue supporting them so that they can contribute as they can to our economy and to our development.
According to the 2023 World Development Report, Rwanda was ranked second after a 16.8% increase in remittances. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince. Now, the Rwanda National Police has announced that in 2025, that's this year, it will begin using drone technology to monitor security, crimes, and traffic violations. With the increasing movement of vehicles on the roads, the police has stated that it is also advancing its technological tools to ensure efficiency and speed in its operations. In Rwanda, drone technology has primarily been used in sectors such as healthcare, including delivering blood supplies to hospitals, medicines, and other essential services. Drivers have expressed optimism, stating that this system will enhance transparency in addressing traffic violations. Rwanda becomes the third African country to adopt drone technology for roads traffic and security monitoring, following Ghana and South Africa. This approach has proven effective in significantly reducing traffic congestion, curbing road violations and crimes, minimizing accidents, as well as other benefits. Now, there are only 2 days left until the second term begins, and boarding students have started returning to their schools. The Ministry of Education has urged parents to send their children to school on time, emphasizing that delays can have negative consequences. Leading the way, students attending schools in the districts of Muhanga, Ngororero, Nyaruguru, Musanze, Kirehe, and Goma have been among the first to return. At the Pele Stadium, gates were opened early in the morning to facilitate the transportation of students back to school. Parents accompanying their children were required to stay outside the stadium as students were handed over to volunteers and security personnel for guidance. Students were directed to buses based on their respective destinations. This well-organized process received praise from parents who appreciated the smooth arrangements. Many parents expressed that despite the recent holiday festivities, they remained mindful of the need to send their children back to school on time. However, the turnout of students was lower than expected. Joseph Sengimana, the Minister of Education, has urged parents to ensure timely school attendance, emphasizing that delays can lead to setbacks in learning. The staggered transportation schedule will continue through Saturday to Monday, depending on the districts that students are traveling to. Now, owners of insurance companies here in Rwanda have expressed anticipation for a new insurance law as a potential solution to ongoing challenges in the sector. This comes amid concerns from clients, especially those purchasing motorcycle and car insurance, about the significant rise in premiums over the past 4 years. Insurance firms attribute this increase to various factors, including the high rate of accidents caused by motorcyclists and market conditions. Initially, many companies hesitated to offer motorcycle insurance due to frequent claims resulting from recurring accidents. Motorcyclists themselves acknowledge their role in frequent accidents, attributing it to reckless behavior amongst some of their peers. However, they emphasize efforts to improve road safety and professionalism in their sector. Economic analysts suggest that insurance premiums should correspond to the number of accidents. They argue that as accident rates decrease, premiums should also be reduced. Recent data shows that insurance companies previously experienced losses due to the high frequency of motorcycle accidents. However, following premium adjustments, the balance has gradually improved. Over the past 4 years, the gap between premiums collected and payouts for motorcycle insurance has narrowed, declining from 141% to just 83%, according to a report by Radiant Insurance. Now, at the Kigali University Teaching Hospital, Sehashika, a state-of-the-art kitchen has been inaugurated to prepare meals for patients and their caretakers who are unable to afford food. The Ministry of Health has highlighted that the kitchen aims to address the need for nutritious meals for patients provided in a timely manner. The kitchen was built in collaboration with the Rwanda Biomedical Center and the Solid Africa organization, which has been supporting underprivileged patients in various hospitals, particularly in Kigali. Seashika's management has revealed that the kitchen will prepare approximately 8,000 meals every day, catering to patients, caretakers, visitors, and hospital staff. This is the first facility of its kind in Rwanda, with plans to extend the initiative to other hospitals, including those in Nyamata and Remera Rukoma, as has been confirmed by the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, Zachary Yakaremye.
We have just launched an industrial kitchen here in the hospital, Seashika, which is a kitchen that aims at providing food to the patients, the guardians, and the staff member of staff of the hospital. The plan is to have food affordable, very nutritious for everyone, including the patients in need, and at an affordable cost. So we are just starting here in Seashika, but there are other construction of industrial kitchen in the other two hospitals, Nyamata, Level 2 Teaching Hospital in the Bugesera district, and Remera Rukoma District Hospital in Kamonyi district. After this pilot phase, we are going to roll out to other district hospitals to ensure that we can have food prepared in the hospital, customized to the patient needs, and we stop bringing food from home, which jeopardize the quality of food, but also the nutrients required for each and every patient.
Isabel Kamariza, the founder of Solid Africa, explained how and why the organization was created, as well as its objectives moving forward.
Solid Africa, I think, came just by one simple idea, is that as young people we can actually solve most of the issue we are seeing ourselves. And that's why we called it Solid Africa. So Solid Africa, it's a combination of two things. It's first to show the solidarity between Africans, but also to show how solid Africa is. Because we are always finding solution, and regardless of the challenges, we are always thriving, I would say. So the idea came out of it. The other part of it was, when we came to the hospital as an inspiration, we were brought here by somebody called Mama Zuzu. So Mama Zuzu, she's one of the founding members. And when we found her, she had 8 children and she was delivering food by herself to somebody that she didn't know. And back then, we are in our early 20s, I was like 24. So we asked ourselves, if she's able to do it with all the responsibility and the children, what is the excuse that we have as us young people? So that's how we started. So the solution that came with Solid Africa is that we are able to provide nutritious meals to be affordable, available, and accessible to everybody, regardless of your means, of how much money you have, of where you are coming from.
Welcome back, and now we take a look at international news. The FBI has said that the suspect in the deadly New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans was inspired by the Islamic State terror group, but appears to have acted alone. The suspect was an Army veteran. Investigations continue on motives and possible links to another vehicle attack in Las Vegas, driven by a U.S. soldier. VOA has the details.
Heavy police presence in New Orleans Thursday after a driver slammed past a security blockade into the crowd celebrating the new year. 14 were killed and dozens injured before police shot and killed the driver. The suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, was an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan. Just before the attack, Jabbar posted videos online to proclaim his support for the terror group Islamic State, also known as ISIS.
In the first video, Jabbar explains he originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on the, quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers, end quote. Additionally, he stated he had joined ISIS before this summer.
IS once imposed a reign of terror in Iraq and Syria before a U.S.-led coalition ended its self-declared caliphate. President Joe Biden met his Homeland Security team Thursday.
We're going to continue to relentlessly pursue ISIS and other terrorist organizations where they are, and they'll find no safe harbor here.
IS has experienced a resurgence worldwide with plots in Russia, Turkey, Iran, and elsewhere. Its branch in Afghanistan, IS Khorasan, claimed responsibility for killing a minister in December, the latest in a string of suicide bombings in the country. IS urged its sympathizers to attack during the holidays. The group leveraged civilian suffering in Gaza to radicalize and recruit, says analyst Clara Brocart with the Sufan Group via Skype.
I think this is a really important aspect. While this is a more recent development, I will also say that the current situation in Syria, where there is some extent of a power vacuum in certain areas of Syria, will also see ISIS likely strengthening.
Authorities are also investigating the explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck outside the Trump International Las Vegas Hotel Wednesday. The truck was rented via the same app as the vehicle used in New Orleans. Authorities identified the truck's driver as Matthew Livelsberger, an active U.S. Army Special Operations soldier. The FBI says at this point there is no definitive link between the two attacks. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News at the White House.
On the Middle East, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has chosen as advisors two businessmen with whom he shares close personal ties. VOA once more.
Donald Trump chose longtime friend Stephen Witkoff as his new special envoy to the Middle East. The New York real estate investor campaigned regularly for Trump's re-election. That close relationship will help Witkoff in the region, says national security analyst Alison McManus.
And so as Witkoff does need to be traveling, to be meeting with foreign counterparts, heads of state, ministerial level, he will be able to bring that kind of clout, let's say, with him, that he's somebody speaking on behalf of the president who, will have that sort of authority in those settings.
In Qatar last May, Witkoff praised the Gulf state for diversifying its economic growth through government and private sector collaboration.
And I sense it in Qatar. I think that they obviously had an economy that was much more geared towards petrochemical and natural gas and things of that sort, and they're expanding. Tourism is up. The hotels here are magnificent. Who wouldn't come back to this region?
Experts note Witkoff may have to divest from some real estate deals with Gulf states to comply with U.S. laws against conflicts of interest.
It's absolutely something that is a great concern as we see some of these particularly business community figures in roles where they could both personally enrich themselves in negotiating terms that may be more favorable to certain countries like the Gulf countries, and also what that might mean in terms of their prioritization, again, of interests.
Massad Boulos will serve as Trump's senior advisor on Arab and Middle Eastern affairs. He is the father-in-law of the president-elect's daughter, Tiffany. The Lebanese-American businessman also campaigned for Trump's re-election, mobilizing Arab-American voters in the Midwestern swing state of Michigan. Boulos is a chief executive of SCOA Nigeria, a company selling trucks and heavy machinery in the West African nation. He was born to a minority Christian family in the northern Lebanese village of Kfar Aka, where his father served as mayor. Last October, Boulos said conflict in the region has kept him from returning to Lebanon.
I haven't been back to my own native country, my home country, for many years because of this situation. I would love to go back. I would love for my own children to go back to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be known as the Switzerland of the Middle East, and Beirut was the Paris of the Middle East. We want this to come back.
Major challenges await Trump's new Mideast team. They include Israel's ongoing conflicts with Iranian proxies in Gaza and Yemen, Iran's expanding nuclear program, Syria's chaotic emergence from dictatorial rule, and an elusive deal to normalize relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Michael Lippin, VOA News, Washington.
Now, before we go, let us again take a look at the headlines for this edition. Rwanda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has called on the country's diaspora to continue playing an active role in initiatives aimed at advancing national development. The Rwanda National Police has announced that this year it will begin using drone technology to monitor security, crimes, and traffic violations. And on the international scene, the FBI has said that the suspect in the deadly New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans was inspired by the Islamic State terror group but appears to have acted alone. We're beginning the first weekend of the year, and I hope you'll have a great time. I'll be seeing you soon again. Goodbye.